What's up, guys? J.Nicole the Grief Bully here. And listen, we're going to get into this interview from 2 years ago that I saw from DJ Vlad on VLADTV, where DL Hughley was talking about this very emotional experience in his life where his 9-month-old son was killed by the boyfriend of the child's mother. He talked about how he did not feel he deserved to feel the need for revenge. I want to get into the grief on this. Let's go.
It wasn't, listen, I felt that I didn't have the right to feel revenge because I wasn't in his life.
So why am I talking about this? When I'm watching things, whether that's on my social media, YouTube channel, wherever it is, I'm always having the vantage point and the goggles and the glasses and the lens of grief. And why this stood out to me was because 1, he's a man, 2, he's a man of color, and 3, it's very important to have these conversations. He was talking about this, mind you, this was 2 years ago, the interview, but the situation was years ago. And I could see that he was visibly still troubled and bothered by this.
He killed a kid. He's here.
Killed your kid?
Yeah, he did.
Did you feel a sense of revenge that you needed to have?
I feel a lot of things.
Now again, I don't know DL, I can't speak for it. I'm not able to interview him right now. So until then, I'm gonna just speak from what I saw. And I could see in the interview that he was visibly still bothered by this and troubled by this. But the part that affected me and my heart was that he didn't feel, from what he said, that he had the right to feel like he wanted to get revenge. And also just the whole thing, and the reason was because he wasn't in that child's life. But this happens so much in our world and in society where situations may prohibit us from having relationships or being present in the lives of those the way in which we will want to. And I personally don't think just because the child was born outside of his marriage and his wife didn't know around the time this happened, you'll have to check out the full clip. I'll link to it right here. But it doesn't change the fact that someone that you brought into this world was killed. And I think if that happens, you have a right to feel any emotion that you should feel. You can feel sad, you can feel angry, you can feel any of those things. Circumstances and titles of relationship does not change the fact that you have permission to feel a certain way about a loss in your life. And that was the whole thing for me. I'm like, damn, like that is really sad and really unfortunate that this man didn't feel like he could express himself about revenge. I mean, if someone kills someone that I loved or someone that I created or whatever the case is, like I'm going to feel a type of way about that. And unfortunately, the person who murdered his child, or I'm going to say murdered, let's just say killed because I don't know all of the details. I think it was something about shaking the baby, is out free. And so he mentioned how he felt robbed. And I thought deeper about it. Not only was he robbed, but his children were robbed because that would have been their sibling as well. And so this child only lived 9 months and the father wasn't in their life. That doesn't change the fact that the father still will feel hurt. There's so much grief and loss and pain that we go through in our community that I think we feel like sometimes trauma is just a part of it. So we're going to kind of keep going. Now, again, I don't know the work that he's done over the years or hasn't done over the years to work through this grief, but I want to just tell him that, listen, King, you have a right to feel any way you want to feel, have those emotions, and I thank him. I truly do thank you, DL, for speaking about this. Again, it was a little while ago, but the vulnerability to, one, talk about your pain, your grief, your loss, but also to put yourself out there and show the vulnerability of mistakes that you made. You cheated on your wife, you had a baby, and that baby ended up being killed before you can even tell your wife. That's the thing. It was a secret. So he's dealing with this child and this whole scenario, the child support and all of that on his own in the back end, and then the child ends up being killed. So it's a very sad thing. Sending my prayers to him still, because I don't believe that time just heals all wounds, and I know that you got to actively do the work. But shout out to him for sharing that. We want to continue to keep bringing up these situations, highlighting these moments, because I want grief to have its rightful place on the stage in society that says, hey, when people go through this, it really impacts them, it really affects them, and we as a society got to continue to learn to do better and to be able to nurture that and to be able to encourage and support ourselves and other people that's going through that in our lives. So this was another one where grief showed up. I hope that you enjoyed it. Subscribe to the channel. Let me know in the comments your thoughts. Let's keep pushing this. I want to keep making sure that grief, again, is being recognized in our world so that we can continue to grow together and keep being stronger and keep bullying it, guys. I'm J.Nicole, the Grief Bully. Love and light, guys. Peace.